It's Dan McDonald, the Life Regenerator. Thank you for joining me today. A very close friend of mine surprisingly sent me a video request, and I want to do that for him today. It is Christmas Eve, and I'm going to put this video up as soon as possible. It is a video about forgiveness, so I think that's a really cool topic, especially for this time of year. So let's see what it says in the dictionary about forgiveness. To forgive means to grant pardon for or to cancel a debt, to cease to feel angry at or for, to grant pardon. Can you dig it? Okay, so forgiveness is, for me, is the most important thing in my life. And maybe it's been a little bit easier for me than it is for other people, because I know people write me all the time, how can I forgive for this, how can I forgive for that? Well, the reason why I think it's so easy for Dan to forgive is because if there's some mistakes that people have made, I've done it. Okay, I've stole from babies, I've stole from stores, I've lied, I've cheated, I've smoked it, I've done it. Everything wrong that a human can do, I've done it. And so to be where I'm at now, it's so easy for me to forgive, because nobody out there has done anything that I haven't done. And to be where I'm at now is a great gift, you know. And I know that if I can do it, anyone can do it. And I've studied a lot about the spirituality, and that helped a lot. And being such a jerk that I've been when I was younger, and still working on it, you know, I can easily forgive people because I can see the limitations of the human mind. Okay, so really, in a really high sense, I want you to try and get this. Okay, forgiveness isn't even a reality, okay? Forgiveness is a tool that perception uses, okay? Because our minds are split. Sometimes it's referred to as duality, so there's duality, which is good, bad, right, wrong, black and white. It's a split world, so it's like a split mind. And then there's the one unified mind, the high mind, where you observe everything as it is. Most of us have to deal with perception. The phenomenon occurs within the field, right? And then the filters of our minds, it runs through the filters of our minds, and then we make a judgment about it. So very few of us actually get to see reality because of the judgment and the filters of the perceptions of the mind. So if we could all see reality, we could see that forgiveness is actually not even reality, because in the highest sense of reality, there was never anything to forgive in the first place. This might be hard for some people, but I want to challenge you to open up your mind, okay? So everything is unfolding as a consequence of everything that ever was before. So being human, you're like, you know, like Tiger Woods. I mean, you know, let's use that for an example. Everybody's all up in arms about this whole thing. I mean, I got nothing against the guy. I don't see that he did anything wrong. So you can leave your comments if you want. But we don't know his story. We don't know his life. I mean, I forgave him before it even, you know, if anything, I forgive all the people that are harassing him about it. Because we don't have enough information about another person's circumstances, not only in this one lifetime that they're living, but in the potential of all the other lifetimes they've lived, and the karma that they have to go through in this lifetime to get to the other side. See, everyone sees, oh, Dan, you're just a drug addict, you're a loser. But did you see, though, that all those years spent, what some would call wasted, and they think they have to forgive me for, was the greatest gift the universe could have ever given me. Because now I can reach out to you no matter where you are. And I don't have to judge you or hate you, or I don't have to have anything against you. I can open my heart to you and say, look, man, if I can do it, you can do it. So who knows what Tiger Woods is going through right now? This might be his exact karmic lesson that he needs to learn to grow spiritually. And we're going to judge him for that? Wouldn't that seem stupid if it was his greatest gift that he could go from this level of being to up to this level of being by having these challenges in his life? It's none of our business. So it makes it easier to forgive when you see it that way. Like I said, forgiveness is a tool that perception uses because it needs that tool because the mind is split. When the mind becomes whole and there's no more judgment and there's no more when there's no more judgment and when there's no more illusion. See, because I think when you enter into the enlightened state, you're finally, for the first time ever, able to view true reality as it is. And it's beautiful. And it's the total perfection of the divine creation. Most of us don't get to see that. We see, oh, look at how wrong this is. Look at how bad this is. The starving kids and the wars. But if we had a higher context and we could see that these are the lessons that people learn. I mean, without war, how would a warrior learn to have courage, to run into the hail of bullets for the country, or for their king, or for their family? So sometimes we got to really realize that our mind is very limited. And for me, forgiveness is easy. So I'm going to take 3 minutes to answer as many of his questions as I can. Love you, Mike. Is forgiveness an act? Like I said, forgiveness is a tool. Is it continuous? Of course. You're constantly forgiving everything. I acted like a jerk last night with Krista, and as I was acting like a jerk, I was forgiving myself. It was pretty cool. Because it wasn't really me acting like a jerk. It was continuous programming from the past, surfacing itself to be looked at again, recontextualized, and healed. And yes, forgiveness is every moment. Do you forgive yourself, other people, or both? Both, all the time. You forgive everything. And what you're really forgiving is your own inability to see the truth. Your own inability to be enlightened at this moment. Because it's my opinion, and, you know, for the atheists, you'll have to excuse me, but God doesn't make mistakes. Okay? We don't have the mind to perceive the universal unfolding, okay? And it knows what it's doing, okay? It knows. We don't know. We think we want to know because we have this intellectual erudite and we've studied all the books and went to college, but that's not going to cut it. At what point did you start to forgive yourself? God. You know, it really was with the drugs. I had to sit there with the drugs and say, okay, God, I don't know why I'm doing this. I do love you. I want to be free from this. I don't know, but I can't function without these drugs, and I have bills to pay and things to do. And I'd sit there and I'd be saying, I'm sorry, God, that I'm doing this. I love you. I'm doing this for you. I mean, who smokes weed for God? Dan does for many years, okay? And I'm finally free. So praise God and praise life. And so atheists, put in your word in there, whatever it is. What challenge did you face or are facing now in forgiving yourself? I honestly have to tell you, bro, I'm not really facing any challenges when it comes to forgiving myself or others. I don't know why. That's been the universal gift to me, is that it's very easy for me to forgive people as near as I can tell in my conscious mind. Yes, it has become easier for me, and yes, I still forgive everything as it arises. Again, 10 minutes, my friend, is not enough, but I do hope that you at least felt my heart in this video, which is what matters the most. I'm sending you the vibration of everything I've learned about this topic, and let it fill your being to overflowing. Thank you very much, Mike.